You've been told 100 rules about petting your cat. Pet here, never there. Bites mean they're annoyed. A belly means rub me. Here's the problem. Half of those rules are wrong for your cat, and the ones that are true aren't true for the reason you think. Because to a cat, your hand isn't just a hand, it's a voice. And today you're going to learn how to speak back. 1. What does petting actually mean to a cat? Start with the big one. To us, petting is affection. To a cat, touch is communication. And the language is scent. Cats don't lead with words or faces the way we do. They lead with smell, and with the way smell moves between bodies. Watch cats who trust each other, and you'll see them groom one another around the head and neck, the spots a cat can't easily reach alone. Scientists call it grooming, and it does far more than clean. It blends their scents into one shared group smell that says, you belong to me, I belong to you. So when your hand runs over your cat's head and cheeks, their brain files it under something ancient and safe. You're not just petting, you're joining the same scent-sharing ritual they save for their inner circle. And here's the part researchers actually measured. Cats respond most positively when they're stroked around the face, between the eyes and ears, along the cheeks and chin. Those areas are packed with scent glands. Rub there and you're pressing exactly where a cat chooses to leave its mark. When your cat leans hard into your fingers, it looks like more, please. It's also the opposite. They're pushing their scent onto you. You're being claimed. And that raises a question most people never ask. What happens the second your hand leaves? 2. Where do cats like to be petted? If the face is the yes zone, the base of the tail and the far end of the back are where things get risky for a lot of cats. In studies, that lower back tail base region scored the most negative reactions, whether the person was a stranger or the cat's own human. But, and this is where honesty matters, cats are individuals. You will meet cats who melt for a firm scratch right at the base of the tail, and owners who've never once been bitten there. Both things are true. The science gives you the default map. Your specific cat draws the fine print. The rule isn't never touch the back. The rule is assume the face is welcome, treat the tail end as ask first, and let your cat correct you, which brings us to the moment they correct you the hard way. 3. Why does my cat bite me when I pet him? The purring cat who suddenly whips around and nips your hand. It feels personal. It isn't. A cat's skin is wired with dense nerve endings, especially down the back and sides. The first few strokes read as pleasant, but the same signal repeated in the same place stacks up fast. Pleasant tips into too much. Behaviorists call it overstimulation. Picture a soft sound that slowly rises until you have to step away. The sound never changed. The buildup got you. Your cat didn't decide they're angry. Their nervous system simply hit its ceiling, and stopping the input is the only relief they know. The good news, they almost always warn you first. A tail that shifts from a slow sway to a hard flick. Skin rippling along the spine. Ears rotating back. Pupils going wide and dark. A sudden stillness, like they're bracing. Learn those 4 or 5 signals, and the random bite disappears because it was never random. 4. Do cats really like belly rubs? Now, the most argued about move in the cat world. Your cat rolls over and shows you that soft stomach. The internet screams, it's a trap. But let's be accurate. Exposing the belly is one of the biggest compliments a cat can give. The stomach guards everything that keeps them alive. Showing it says, I feel safe enough to drop my guard right here, right now. That part is real. What's not guaranteed is the invitation to rub. For some cats, a hand dropping onto that belly flips the whole posture in a blink. They grab, rake with the back feet, and bite. That back leg bunny kick looks playful, but comes from a serious place. It's the reflex a cat's body uses to defend its softest spot. And yet, Plenty of cats genuinely love a belly rub. Ask around, and you'll hear owner after owner describe a cat who flops, spreads all four paws, and demands it. They're not lying, and their cats aren't broken. The difference is trust built over time and touch offered on the cat's terms. So the honest rule is a belly is an invitation to be trusted, not automatically an invitation to be touched. Read the individual, start slow, and let them tell you. And telling you runs both ways, because while you're learning their language, your cat is quietly answering in its own. 5. Why does my cat need me when I pet them? You know the move. Your cat settles onto your lap and starts pushing its paws in and out, making biscuits. It looks like a quirk. It's actually a memory. Kittens need their mother's belly to get the milk flowing, and that little motion gets wired straight to a flood of calm, feel-good chemistry. Carry that forward, and an adult cat needs when it feels the same safety it felt as a kitten. So a cat kneading your lap while you stroke it is, in a sense, time traveling back to the safest moment it knows and putting you at the center of it. There's a second layer too. Cats have scent glands in the soft pads of their paws, so every push leaves a faint invisible signature, the same "this one's mine" marking as a cheek rub just from the other end. Not every cat needs, and claws can turn a compliment into a puncture wound, so keep them trimmed and never punish it. It's affection, not defiance. But when the biscuits come with half-closed eyes and a rumbling purr, you're watching a cat in its deepest state of trust. And sometimes that trust leaks out in a way that catches owners completely off guard. 6. Why does my cat drool when I pet them? Your cat is kneading, purring, dissolving into your lap, and a little bead of drool lands on your leg. It looks like something's wrong. Usually it's the opposite. The same nursing wiring is at work here. Deep relaxation plus that purr and knead combo can tip a cat's body into rest and digest mode, and the salivary glands answer the call. In other words, some cats drool for the very same reason they knead, because being petted carries them all the way back to the contentment of nursing. It's about as high a compliment as a cat's body knows how to pay. One honest note, because this is health and not just cuteness, happy drooling shows up with the rest of the relaxed picture, the purr, the loose body, the biscuits. Drool that appears suddenly, heavily, or on its own, especially alongside bad breath, a dropped appetite, or pawing at the mouth, is a different story. Dental disease is extremely common in cats, and mouth pain, nausea, or something toxic can all trigger drooling. If the drool doesn't match the happy picture, that's a vet visit, not a cute quirk. But read in context, a relaxed drool is simply one more sign of a cat that feels completely safe, which points straight at the one thing that makes all of this far more likely. 7. How should I pet my cat so they like it? Here's what quietly changes everything. When researchers compared interactions, the single biggest factor in a happy cat wasn't how much you pet them. It was who was in control. Give a cat choice and let them steer, and aggression drops and affection climbs. The guideline that came out of that work is almost embarrassingly simple. Offer choice, pay attention, and keep most of the touch to the face. So try this. Instead of reaching for your cat, rest your hand near them, still relaxed, and wait. Many cats will drift over, press their cheek into your knuckles, and run the whole thing themselves. When the cat sets the pace, their body stays loose. Softer breathing, easier posture, well clear of that overstimulation ceiling. You stop taking the nips personally. You stop guessing why the mood changed. You start catching the tail flick a second before enough becomes too much. And a small thing happens over weeks. The cat you thought just isn't affectionate starts choosing you, coming closer, staying longer, turning away less. Not because you did more, because for once you let them decide. So petting was never really about your hand. It's a conversation in a language of scent, trust, and consent. And now you can hold up your end of it. There's one everyday habit almost every cat owner does without thinking that your cat may quietly count among the kindest things you offer. That's the next thing worth understanding. Check out the next video to find out what it is.